Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to break down 6 really common parenting mistakes that, as it turns out, could be unintentionally harming your child's future. And hey, the goal here is not to make anyone feel bad. It's to get informed so we can all be a little better. So let's just start with a really direct question. Are you, with the absolute best intentions, doing things that might actually be holding your child back? I know, it's a tough thought, but it's so important to ask. And here's why this is so critical. Child psychology research gives us this really staggering number. Turns out 73% of parents are making these mistakes. And a lot of the time, we don't even know it. So this isn't about a few people. This is a widespread thing, which means the fixes we're about to talk about, they're for pretty much all of us. All right, so first up, let's get into the 2 most powerful tools you have in your parenting toolbox: how you handle discipline, and, just as important, the words you choose to use every single day. Now, what's so interesting here is the cold, hard data. I mean, the science on this is really clear. Physical punishment just backfires. Kids who experience it are 13% more likely to show aggressive behaviors themselves. And just look at the lesson it teaches them. The underlying message is that violence is a way to solve problems. Is that really what we want them to learn? This chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's something called the criticism trap. On average, a kid hears 17 criticisms a day, but only gets about 2 praises. Just think about that ratio for a second. That means they're hearing what they're doing wrong almost 9 times more than what they're doing right. And you know what? That constant negative feedback, it ends up becoming their inner voice. So how do we get out of this trap? Well, it's all about making a small but powerful shift from criticism to guidance. So instead of labeling your child, "You're so messy," you make it a team effort. Hey, let's organize your room together. You see the difference? It stops being an attack on who they are and becomes about solving a problem together. You know, if you've ever yelled at your kids, you are in very, very good company. Look at this, a massive 98% of parents admit to doing it. But here's the science of what's actually happening in your child's brain when we yell. Their cortisol, the stress hormone, it just spikes. And their learning centers in the brain, they literally shut down. So they're not actually learning a lesson, their body is just going into fight or flight mode. So what's the alternative? Here are 3 super simple but really powerful tricks for staying calm. First, before you even react, just take 3 deep breaths. It is amazing what that little pause can do. Second, try lowering your voice. A whisper can actually get more attention than a shout. And for anything that isn't a true emergency, try the 24-hour rule. Just let everyone cool down before you talk it out. Okay, our next big section is all about a really delicate balancing act. How to deal with your kids' huge emotions while still setting the firm boundaries that they secretly crave to feel safe. We've all heard these, right? Heck, we've probably all said them. But when we say something like, "Stop crying," we're sending a message we don't intend to. The hidden message is, your feelings are a problem. They're inconvenient. You need to push them down. And that can create adults who have no idea how to handle their own emotions later in life. Now, this idea right here, it's a total game changer. What if your child's anger or sadness or frustration wasn't the problem? What if it was just data, a signal that's telling you something important about what's going on inside them? The moment you start seeing feelings as information instead of misbehavior, your whole approach can shift from trying to control them to trying to understand them. This question, it gets right to the heart of another really common mistake. It's so tempting to want to be your kid's best friend, but the truth is, what they need from you is something very, very different. And this is exactly why it's called the permissive parent trap. We think that having no rules will make our kids feel free, but in reality, it just makes them anxious. Kids need boundaries to feel safe. They need to know that a capable adult, that's you, is the captain of the ship, keeping their world predictable and secure. But here's the thing. It's not just about being too loose with the rules. There's danger on the other side of the spectrum too. The data shows that kids with helicopter parents are 34% more likely to develop anxiety disorders. So yeah, overprotection can be just as harmful as no protection at all. So the real sweet spot is to actively build their independence. Instead of jumping in to fix their problem, you ask that powerful question, what do you think you should do? Instead of trying to prevent every single mistake, you let natural consequences do the teaching. That is how you build real, rock-solid confidence and resilience.
All right, this next part requires us to look in the mirror a little bit. How we were raised has a huge impact on how we parent. But the best part is, even if some of those patterns weren't great, we have the power to make sure they stop with us. It can end with you.
And it all starts with this one simple idea. You know on an airplane how they tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first? Parenting is exactly the same. If you're stressed out, exhausted, and just running on fumes, you can't be the calm, patient parent your child needs. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's absolutely essential for them. It's the foundation for everything else. Okay, we've gone through the big mistakes. Now let's talk solutions. This isn't about flipping a switch and being a perfect parent overnight. It's about starting a real transformation with small, totally manageable changes. Here is a super simple plan you can literally start today. For week 1, just focus on flipping that criticism ratio. Aim for 5 positive comments for every 1 correction you make. Week 2, practice that calm down technique. 3 deep breaths, lower your voice. And in week 3, just make it a goal to validate 1 feeling every single day. Something as simple as saying, wow, that sounds really hard, can make all the difference in the world. And as you try these new things, just keep this little mantra in your head. The goal isn't perfection, because that's impossible. The goal is just progress. It's about choosing patience over pressure and making your decisions from a place of love instead of a place of fear. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. From everything we've talked about, what is the one small change you can commit to making this week? Because that one tiny shift, that's how it all begins.